Hello out there, YouTube land.
Welcome back. So today we're starting kind of a different thing because we've noticed that viewers like stories, especially when we read them.
And people have told us both that they really like to listen to our voices. So we thought, well, let's do something with this.
Let's pick a book and read through it.
So what did we decide to do? We decided to choose one of my books because we don't have to worry about copyright issue.
Yeah. So we are going to read a book called Maw. It's a vampire.
Yes,
based.
it's basically my homage to the movies Life Force, Event Horizon, and Alien.
Yeah.
So it's, street kids meet vampires for calamity.
So this video we'll read the prologue and then you guys will just have to follow along for the rest of the story.
Yeah. And we'll put the link to where you can actually buy the book online in the description. So Tabby's going to start us out and read the prologue.
Marko was frozen, literally. Something was keeping him from moving, some force he could not see. Nothing on his body wanted to even try to move. Even his hair felt as if it might snap off if the wind blew the wrong way, which would be kind of hard to do since his hair was so curly, but it was possible. Or at least he figured it was. He was starting to think that nothing was impossible with everything that had happened. The giant spaceship, looking like some sort of metallic bird of prey, sat down in the parking lot of what used to be a steel refinery. Each leg of the ship hit the pavement with a deep-sounding clunk. Marko still remembered that when he was a kid, the smoke billowed from the stacks of the refinery and made everything stink. Now, things stunk because of filth. The refinery had been built close to the dock so that the steel could be easily loaded when the barges moved in. The ship seemed to groan and whine, almost as if it were so cold that the metal was having trouble bending. Except it was freaking hot. No reason for the metal to pop and crack. Marko wished his mother were there now. He wished that he was a kid again, have someone to protect him instead of having to protect himself. But that wasn't going to happen. His mother had died last year. Unless she came back from the dead as a zombie or something, he was shit out of luck. Plus, she tried to eat him or something. Slowly, a hatch opened, lowering itself downward. The fans whirred like the sound of a jet taking off. Metal legs extended from extra points on the shell of the ship and settled on the broken concrete of the parking lot with a thud. There was an odd hum, and suddenly, steps made of some sort of weird buffed metal moved into place on the inside of the hatch. Marko wasn't close enough to notice anything except the gaping hole now on the side of the ship. The opening of the spaceship was dark, but seemed to glow with a strange blue light around the rectangular opening. It reminded him of an old neon sign. After a moment, Marko could faintly see the dark outline of something humanoid. It was standing just beyond the light source. "This is some fucked up shit," Deacon said. His body seemed electric. There wasn't any part of him that wasn't quivering. "Yeah," Marko replied. He didn't like this. Not at all. The whole thing felt wrong. Nothing was natural anymore. Then, the creature came into view. It was a woman. Her bald head seemed to shine in the light like the skin had been buffed. Her eyes were closed. She was standing there, naked. Her breasts jutted out from her body, almost as if standing to attention. Her skin was so white and pale, Marko could almost see the evidence of veins running up and down her legs. But the veins looked black in the light instead of the usual blue. But one thing was blue. Her lips. They formed an almost perfect Cupid's bow of a mouth. She was beautiful. Scary as hell. Deacon started walking strangely towards the ship. His legs seemed stiff somehow, as if his knees weren't working right. Man, what the fuck? Marko asked. He couldn't believe that Deacon was going to go near that fucking freak bitch. Couldn't imagine what his friend was remotely thinking. Yeah, she was naked, but shit. Deacon kept walking and didn't answer. It was like he was being compelled or pulled. Not cool. Way not cool. Marko didn't know what to do. His body still felt riveted to the spot he was standing on. He knew it had been a bad idea to separate from Khalid and Jameson. Fear of cops or not, they should have just gone back home after the melee. Khalid had been fucked anyway. Shit never went right when they separated. And now, they had space fucks to worry about. And, with the way shit was going, survival was questionable. Deacon was to the steps now. Marko suddenly felt in control of his body again. He wiggled his toes and scuffed his foot just to make sure. But still, something told Marko to stay back, and he listened. His mother had always told him to pay attention to his instincts, and that's exactly what he was going to do. He just hoped Deacon wasn't about to drag him into some mess just because the freak was buck naked. There were easier ways to get a piece of tail, for God's sake. The woman started walking down the ramp toward Deacon. The way she moved was almost undulating. It was languid and slow. Suddenly, her eyes flashed over to Marko. Marko forced himself to look anywhere but her eyes. He just knew that had been his buddy's mistake. Then, her gaze jumped back to Deacon. By the time she reached him at the bottom of the steps, her mouth was slowly opening. The inside of her mouth was black as tar. Marko took a step back. Everything about this was wrong. Her tongue snaked out around her teeth. It was black, too. And long, like a dragon. But her teeth, that's what worried Marko the most. They were sharp, long, and pointed, and looked like dark chrome. Almost like a leech. Rows and rows of them, seemingly going clear down into her throat. Man, get the fuck away from her, Marko yelled. Deacon stayed in one position, like he'd never even heard him. He was in thrall. As fast as a snake, she struck, jamming those teeth into the side of Deacon's neck. Marko forced himself forward. He had to try to save his friend, but his legs and feet were moving so slowly it was like he was treading through quicksand. Those damn teeth would kill Deacon by themselves. This was so fucked up. The closer he got, the worse Deacon looked. His skin looked waxy and yellowed. Finally, Marko just stopped. Deacon wasn't dying. It was like she was sucking every bit of fluid from his body. Deacon's skin shriveled up and turned browner than usual. His head lolled back. And, when she was done, the monster snapped Deacon's neck and dropped his lifeless corpse to the pavement. The body sounded like a pile of dry leaves when it hit the ground. There was only a rustle, not even a thud. She'd sucked him dry. Marko didn't even wait for anything else. He turned his head and hauled ass away from there. No sense in him being a victim too. Fuck that shit. He had to find Khalid and Jameson. Fucking space vampires. Jesus Christ.
There's the prologue. We'll post Chapter 1 soon. So, until next time.
Bye.
Bye.